Hey everyone, so we're doing another one of these videos. I want to talk a little bit about Dodgeball. So I've been seeing this article circulating around a little bit about, what was the title? It was really dramatic. I think it was something like, Dodgeball is just legalized bullying. And like, sure, it's cool if that's your opinion and all, and I don't really think people should be forcibly subjected to dodgeball. Like, if you're in gym class and it's dodgeball day, gym teachers shouldn't force you to play dodgeball. You should have the option to like do cardio or skip rope or play hacky sack or shoot hoops if there's a spot you can do it. Like, you should have other options, whatever. But like, I saw someone, like, I'm not calling anybody out, like, I just want to discuss ideas and all, but I saw someone who really didn't like dodgeball, and, like, they kind of agreed with the article, but as someone who also, like, really didn't have the best life going through school as far as friends go, I kind of really like dodgeball. Like, I'm not bragging, but maybe it was because, like, I was okay at it. Like, I was never really, well, I don't remember always being the first one out, you know what I mean? But, like, I was never all that athletic, but I enjoyed it. Like, it was one of the games that I actually look forward to playing, as opposed to, like, I was never all that excited for gym class, but whatever. Like, all I'm saying is, like, leave dodgeball alone. I hope my kids have the chance to play it. Like, if I ever have kids, I hope dodgeball doesn't disappear, is what I'm saying. But moving on from that, I want to talk a little bit more about, like, just my friend life in general. And again, I'm not calling anybody out. If I use any names, I apologize. I'll edit them out. I'll do my best to. But, yeah. Go over this kind of real quick and don't get into any more detail than I need to, but like, growing up, like, I lived in Halifax for a long time. Well, till I was about 10, so long time relatively speaking, being mid-20s, almost half my life, whatever. But like, I had one close friend in Halifax. I don't talk to him anymore. A close friend who lived, like, his grandparents lived in the house behind me. I still talk to him a lot. He's fucking great. The girl across the road was fucking awesome, and I still talk to her. Like, still in contact with them. I had one friend that I saw every time I went to my grandparents. He's, like, got a family now, and like, whatever, I haven't seen him in years, but still maintain contact. And other than that, I haven't got all that many friends from the city from, like, when I lived in the city as a kid. I ended up moving around 10, so like, first year in my new place, I was in grade 3. Gotta fix that, I guess. But, yeah. Kind of made me the new kid in grade 3. I have one memory of just kind of, for some reason, we were talking about, like, God or theology or something, and I was just kind of like, I don't believe in God, and I was, like, the only person in my grade 3 class who had, and admittedly, it's kind of a rural town, but I was the only person in the class who had, like, ever even heard of or, like, let alone entertained the idea of being an atheist, even if I didn't really use those words. I'm not sure if I did or not. But yeah, grade 3, 4, and 5, I had a handful of friends. It was a little weird, but it was interesting, and a few of them I still talk to. Not very many. Grade 6 was in a different school. It was just kind of going from elementary school to the next school up kind of thing. My friend group in grade 6 was, like, basically me and 2 other guys, and it was a weird kind of, like, 3-person dynamic where it was always, like, 2 people being friends and the other person kind of, like, it was a weird dynamic. But I'm still friends with one of those guys. He's a fellow volunteer firefighter. I'm not sure if he still is, but up until pretty recently he was locally, and yeah, he's a great guy. Grade 7's where things start getting kind of really shitty. Not that, like, I was bullied in elementary school too. Like, I remember being bullied at my first school in Halifax a little bit. I don't really... oh, fuck it, I'll get into it anyway. I don't have many memories from, like, being in school at that Halifax school kind of thing. Like, but one of the ones that sticks out kind of the most is that we were in gym class, and, like, because most of the media I consumed at that time was, like, cheesy cartoons and, like, anime cartoons, Pokemon, kind of, that kind of shit. And, like, I said something trying to be encouraging. We were playing some kind of team sport. I was out already. And, like, I was a naive little kid. I didn't understand shit for, like, I was sheltered for a long time. So, like, I didn't understand the context of anything. Like, I think, like, I yelled, "Do it!" And everybody, or, like, a few of the other kids on the bench, like, just interpreted it, like, intentionally the most perverted way possible. And, like, I have some, like, memories growing up of that happening a lot. And, like, it was just fucking... I hated that shit. And, like... yeah, I remember getting, like... getting beat up in elementary school a little bit, that kind of thing. But, like, grade 7 was when, like... I didn't really fit in at all, except, like, I had a few guys I fit in with, but, like, 2 or 3 of them just, like, relentlessly bullied the fuck out of me. So our teacher had this, like, stuffed moose. The stuffed moose's name was Moose Elkin. And, like, one of the guys that was, like, in my tight-knit friend group kind of thing, just for that entire grade 7 year, made jokes alluding to the idea of me raping this stuffed moose, and it was just like, yeah. I just kind of tolerated it, right? Because, like, I didn't have all that many friends. It kind of sucked. But, like, yeah. And it didn't really get a whole lot better from then on either. Like, yeah, grade 7 was that group of friends. I'm still friends with a lot of those guys, and, like, we've grown up, whatever. Like, it's in the past. Like, I don't hold it against them. We've all grown up. It's just, like, when you're growing up, you learn kind of, you gotta process that shit to put it behind you a little bit. And, like, I guess making this video is a little bit of that processing or whatever. So grade 8, I kind of, that friend group from grade 7 was still around, but I got another friend group, and, like, those guys kind of became the core of, like, who I hung out with. And, well, those guys and girls, like, we had my friend group was mixed, and I, like, hung out in a few different friend groups after grade 7, like, from grade 8 and then into high school kind of thing. But, like, especially, like, even in my friend group, like, after that point, I kind of started hanging out with guys, like, outside school, whatever. Like, being around 14, 15, being a teenager, you start just, like, kicking it outside the house, whatever. And, like, I don't know if I really want to go into it, because it was a little bit worse than the whole moose thing, but I ended up, like, enduring some, like, pretty intense bullying of a similar, but even worse nature than that from that other friend group. And, like, yeah, bullying fucking sucks. Like, And like growing out of high school, like everybody kind of grows their separate ways, keeps in touch, whatever. I feel like that's relatively similar for everybody. It might have differences, like out in the country versus in the city and that, but yeah, I just wanted to make a video and talk about that shit and just share my feelings about Dodgeball, and in addition to, like, I don't know, I just wanted to talk about like how my socializing growing up was, and just the general idea that like I was more or less a loner unless I kind of chose to intentionally fit into a friend group where some or most of the people in it were bullying me, and I just kind of felt like I was barely tolerated, if that, or kept around as a punching bag. And like, yeah, there's a little bit of that shit everywhere you go, I guess, but yeah, being subjected to it on a consistent basis all the fucking time growing up was kind of a shitty thing. Sorry if this was a little bit of a heavy video. I don't want to make too many of those, but thanks for watching it, and if you're interested in more, you can like and subscribe if you want to. I appreciate you supporting the channel in whatever way you can, or supporting the things and work I do in whatever way you choose to. And I also have a Patreon, and I'll link that below too if you want to go check that out. And on there I do have more of a combination between the different stuff on my two different YouTube channels. So yeah, this is like 12 minutes long.